This is topic C on page 87, entering costs for resources. Now that you've set up your resources and adjusted their availability, you can define how the resources accumulate cost. This will give you further flexibility in tracking your costs as the project progresses. So our resource costs. When we have one of our resources open by double clicking them, I'm going to double click volunteer number 4 here. And in our resource information dialog box, we have a costs tab. The cost rate table on the cost tab enables you to see, add, and change the costs associated with a resource. You can set a resource's normal standard rate, overtime rate, and per use cost in this table as well. And you can also set the effective dates. If you don't set the first effective date, that will be just from the beginning of the project. But they may, get a raise or increase their rates to charge as the project progresses. You can specify different rates beginning on specified dates. There are two methods for doing this. The first method is to enter the changed rate as a number, such as 110, or the second method is to enter the changed rate as a percentage of the old rate. So you would enter, maybe the standard rate was $25 an hour to begin with, and there was a 10% increase. You would put $25 an hour from here, then, maybe on August 1st, 2016, there was a 10% increase. So you can just type 10% here, and it would calculate that increase for you. When using the percentage method, you must add the percent sign, or project will interpret it as a number. Entering a positive percentage increases the rate, and a negative percentage will decrease the rate. So resources don't always remain at the same rates over the life of a project. People may get raises that take effect on a certain date, or a contractor may charge different rates depending on the type of work being performed. You can specify how costs change using cost tables. The cost tables are lettered. You can see we have A, the default, B, C, D, and E. We have 5 different tabs along the top. Each table can contain rates that change at specified time periods. For example, you can use cost table A to specify the default rates of a resource and any change in that resource's default rate, such as a raise or a discount during the off-season. You can use multiple cost tables if a resource has different rate schedules that may come into play during a project. For example, a contractor may charge more for tasks that are dangerous. You can create a cost table that can be specified at the time you assign the resource to the task to reflect the different rate. You can also use cost tables with material resources. For example, you may have discounted rates for buying larger quantities or different rates depending on the choice of material quality. You can use the cost rate tables to see how the variable rates affect the project cost when you change them. So in our next activity coming up, you'll see how to set the rates for the maid service. Again, this is going to be a different example coming up in our next activity. You will be putting in labor rates for your project team. So this will be activity 5.3 on page 89.